Welcome to Mic'd Up Morgantown, the official podcast of the city of Morgantown, West Virginia. I'm your host, Brad Riffey, and we're excited to have you today. Today's episode is all about recreation, parks, trails, playgrounds, and more. We're talking about outdoor spaces that bring families together, encourage healthy living, and make Morgantown a great place to play and enjoy. Joining us today are two special guests from BOPARC, Executive Director Greg Travinsky and BOPARC's Director of Marketing and Communications, Bree Starsick. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
We're pretty excited to give the exclusive look of BOPARC.
That's awesome. So that's exactly what we hope to do here. So let's start out with some big projects. What's happening around town right now?
Well, actually, if you've driven around town at all, you've seen a lot happening. About back in 2020, there was identified about $60 million in capital projects and deferred maintenance that needed to happen to our aging facilities. So slowly but surely, we started chipping away at those, and we wanted to be strategic and all-inclusive with the projects we were doing. So pools, skate parks, ice arenas, tennis courts, pickleball courts, playgrounds, pavilions, all facility restrooms. So you'll see projects of all multitudes happening right now.
That's incredible.
2026 is a pretty big year for us.
It sounds like it. So how do the Neighborhood Tuesdays fit into that?
Yeah, so Neighborhood Tuesdays are an event series that's going to be happening all year long. And what we were trying to do is really emphasize on love where you live.
Okay.
And just
I
the
like
Morgantown community. So getting out in the system as a team and talking to the community and having different events. So we've already had two. We had a free skate time at the BOPARC Ice Arena, and then we also did an open house at the Wiles Hill Community Center.
Yeah, just getting out into each park, meeting the individuals who live in those parks, and providing a free event for people to come enjoy and just hear from the community about how we've been doing and what they would like to see.
Sure, which really is connecting with people where they're at.
Absolutely.
Right? How do you do that in different ways? How do you do that? I mean, we have the parks, we have the facilities. What other community events do you have going on right now?
So we have a bunch of community events. So we have like public sessions,
Okay.
we have programming, so like our ice arena, we have Tot Tickles, we have our public ice skating sessions, but then we also have fitness classes, art classes, and things like that at our Wiles Hill community. And I'll let you expand on those a little bit.
Yeah, so then with those Neighborhood Tuesdays, the idea of it is to have different varieties for everybody. So we have an egg hunt, we have a try it at the BOPARC Sports Complex where we're going to roll down the turf, let people come and try t-ball, wiffle ball, kickball, and things like that.
Awesome. So we're big about like behind the scenes. What does that look like? And I think that's primarily why we created the podcast, was to give folks in the community a behind the scenes look at how things operate and how things are accomplished. So we have the events, right?
Mhm.
What does it take? What kind of partnerships are involved when it comes to putting these things together?
Yeah, well, step one is the groundwork. We get together as our small team and develop it from day one. Like what parks we want to be in, what days we want to be there, setting a budget and picking out a plan. Then you have to identify your partners that you want to bring in because partners always make things better and some people do things better than you. So you go get the experts in those categories and combine with them. And then from there, it's like a building block process.
We are a small team. We only have 17 full-time employees, so it's always good to collaborate with different organizations. I know we collaborate pretty often.
We do.
Municipal League, Citizens Academy, and then sometimes we also provide spaces for anything that you guys need, like the Marilla Recreation Center. And you guys helped us out with one of our concert series.
That's right. Yeah.
And the weather was not cooperating.
Right.
So
Yeah. Well,
that's
we'll
something.
have that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes the weather isn't on our side, but what a wonderful resource for the community. All of these beautiful parks. Recreation is just a huge part of our lives, right? So for the folks here in Morgantown, the residents, the visitors, to be able to experience this is big time.
Right.
Which leads me to asking you all for a quick snapshot of everything that BOPARC touches. I know we talked about parks, facilities, programs, events, but like the staff, how do they interact with the community?
Yeah, so everybody on our staff and depending on the department you in get to interact differently. So if we consider our dog parks and then the rail trail that we help maintain, we have about 18 parks that we're maintaining throughout our system. And that's an ice arena, that's pools, those are dog parks, those are action sports parks, that's rail trail facilities, tennis courts. So depending on what entity you're involved in is how you interact with the community differently. So our maintenance guys are seeing things different than we are. Bree's communicating obviously a lot more than most of us. And so it's a unique experience all around. And then we come back together and then work as a team to figure out each other's problems from different angles, I guess.
Looking ahead, what's next?
We have a lot of these projects that I mentioned wrapping up in 2026. So getting to see people use these facilities and use these parks and use these green spaces for what we have hopefully improved for them, and get to see them back out there and enjoying the spaces. That's what I'm most excited for.
Awesome. And some of these facilities are rental facilities too, right? They're available to the public to rent for special occasions.
Absolutely.
Maybe give us a little bit of info about that.
Sure, yeah. So if you are someone that's rented in the past or looking to rent, we have had pavilions that have been offline for a little bit that are they're under construction, getting upgraded, as well as our Marilla Center, which was a very popular for birthdays and bridal showers. That'll be renovated going into early 2027, finishing up. So that'll be back online to rent.
Great.
Just a lot of facilities that have been down for a little bit are going to be back in action. So.
And even though we do have some limited spaces, we also have a couple indoor. So the Dorsey's Knob Lodge, the Wiles Hill Community Center Gymnasium, as well as the BOPARC Ice Arena.
That's awesome. So, and if folks want to learn more about BOPARC, how do they connect with BOPARC? I know you're on social media. They can call. What's the best way to get a hold of you all?
Yeah, if they just want to shoot us an email to adminoffice@boparc.org, or they can just give us a call and ask to speak to Bree or Greg.
Or if they see us in public, we're all friendly and approachable.
That's
so
right.
Just reach out and say hello and meet us as people. That's what we're trying to do, is humanize the park system, that show that we are a small staff and we are here to be part of the community and provide great things.
Well, you're definitely accessible and you do a fantastic job. Greg, Bree, thank you so much for being on the show today. We appreciate you, and we can't thank you enough for your dedication and BOPARC's dedication to providing the best recreational opportunities possible to the city of Morgantown. That wraps up this episode of Mic'd Up Morgantown. Stay tuned to see who gets mic'd up next. Thank you. What would you like to know about the city of Morgantown? Send in your questions to Mic'd Up Morgantown and make sure to follow us on all social media.